national poll for the coaches poll. Big East poll should be coming out here in a bit, so I'll let you know where we rank. But Coach, go ahead and start.
You love that kind of stuff.
I do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
sure.
Told me how much you pay attention to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, almost none.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So, well, we are excited to get going, obviously. So, looking forward to having our first full day of practice. We have everybody back. So, we have a player pool of 27. And so far, from the morning session to judge, it looks already very promising.
You guys ranked sixth, I think, in the poll that came out today. How do you look at the polls? And one poll I saw you in the top four. How do you look at
Whatever you want to rank us. Rank us. I could care less. We haven't played a game yet. We have 10 new players to integrate. A lot of other teams have the same issues. So it's every season it's something new. The rankings pretty much go by the performance of the previous season. But what is taken out of the equation is that you lose a core of your player pool. So that has to be obviously replaced. So the beginning ranking is nice for notoriety and you know for the publicity of it. But in the end, it really means nothing when you lose your first two games. You're already out of the top 20 anyway, and you have to dig your way back in.
What did you learn in the spring about this group?
That I need to do a lot better job. And we had a pretty rough spring, to say the least. And part was because Eric Miller was not with us, because we had to give him the semester off to be with the under-20 national team to go to the World Cup in Turkey, which he did. And so we were a little bit thin. And we tried out a couple of things, but I think overall what I learned from it, the players coming back, they recognized they had really a rough spring season. They dug deep over the summer. They came very prepared. They're very fit, and so I'm very pleased because there was a reaction to our kind of lackluster performance from spring matches.
When you say they dug deeper, just better prepared? Better
prepared, and I think it was a little bit of a wake-up call. I don't want to make many excuses. We didn't compete as much as we should and can. The weather had a little bit to do because we were maybe 5 times outside in the spring and the rest was in the RAS. Having said that, we were so happy to have it, because if we hadn't had the RAS Center, I don't know where we would have trained with all our sessions.
Your first season, you lost Duran, Holtz, Finley. Nobody thought you could replace their leadership. Second year, you had Ribeiro and Choco. Nobody thinks you're going to be able to replace those guys. Who do you think will step up this year and be like some of the leaders of the team?
There are always guys to step up, and we really don't designate one particular player. I think leadership, A, it evolves, and B, we call on everybody pretty much to lead themselves. But then there are players who are very comfortable of taking the reins a little bit. So we still have to see, does Eric Miller play in the midfield or does he play in the back? If he does play in the back, chances are he's going to be a leader back there with his experience. Zach Barnes, being a senior as a midfielder in a central position, could be a leader. So we have a ton of guys. Alex did a great job, our goalkeeper, in terms of getting the guys together and doing practices while we were not able to do something with them, and communicating with them, picking guys up from the airport and things like that.
It took about half a season last year for you guys to develop personality, a way you wanted to play. Do you want to accelerate that this year, or is that going to be something that's just got to take its own time to develop?
Both. It does take its time to develop, but I think we are further ahead than we were last year. So I'm cautiously optimistic that it will look more organized as we get ready to start the season.
In what ways are you further ahead?
I think the players have a better understanding, especially the returning players have a better understanding. I see their leadership already emerge a little bit on the field in terms of directing the younger players and giving the necessary feedback, because the way we do play is a little bit a distinct style, and you have to adjust to it. And especially if you're a new player, it'll take you some time to adjust to it, and we give them the time, but others, they catch on faster. So, those are the guys who will learn their roles a little bit quicker and hopefully can contribute right away.
Getting to College Cup 2 years in a row, not winning, obviously, does that fuel the team's fire, if you will, to get back and win it this time?
Well, I would think so. There were also reasons why we didn't win. You know, so I want to say last year we had a few things going against us. Again, Miller was out; we couldn't use him. Ribeiro had in the game against Indiana a crucial injury that we couldn't replace him. He had to come off. So we are losing right off the get-go 2 of our impact players, and that is hard to replace. You know, so but. On the other hand, you know, we can at that stage it's the details that make a difference. You know, so that little margin of winning and losing comes down to the details, and sometimes it's also a little bit mental toughness. And I think what we are addressing a lot of is that, you know, we want to be a tougher team.
What do you expect out of Miller, given the experience he's had since the end of the season?
Well, Miller plays with a different level of confidence right now, having been with the best in his age group to represent our country. And so, you know, we want to utilize that, obviously, and Miller has an aspiration to move on and play professionally, so, you know, he's gearing up towards that. And what better way than to be a leader on a top level college team and make your impact and make your mark and, you know, grow in that sense, because that's what the pros also want to see. They want to see not only the talent, but they want to see how the guy handles himself and is he a leader? Does he take charge when the game is on the line and things like that? That's what we really expect from Eric.
You guys played with the target on your back, being at the College Cup 2 years ago and then going through last season, etc. Will you expect that same type of attention from opponents, even though you're moving to a new conference? Are you going to be the marked team?
Well, I don't know if they look at us that way. I wish they do, because that's what I want.
Do you feel like the Big East style fits you guys better than the Missouri Valley?
I know only a few teams in the Big East, having played against them in the past. I don't know all of the Big East teams, so I really don't know a lot to expect. I know the facilities are okay. The travel will be a burden. It's a big concern of mine, because we have a double whammy with the schedule that we inherited late in the year and then my own schedule that I made up out of conference, which is total overkill right now. And we have 8 flights in a short amount of time. And I don't know how to balance this with our academic needs and wants and issues, and you know, the players giving the proper rest and so forth. So it's going to be a challenge. That will be a critical challenge for us. It's the how condensed and tough the schedule really is. Yeah.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you.